A power surge in SE11 knocked the floodlights out at the Kia Oval, and in the end it knocked Somerset out of the Royal London One Day Cup as they slipped to a 7-run Duckworth-Lewis defeat at the hands of Surrey. Batting first after losing the toss, Surrey lost Jason Roy in the second over as he was trapped in front to Lewis Gregory's 5th ball for 10. Vikram Solanki and Stephen Davis then batted solidly through the rest of the first power play overs, bringing up the 50 in the 8th over before carrying the total to 59 in the 10th, Solanki making 18 of a second wicket partnership of 45. He was then bowled by Peter Trigo and Somerset kept on taking wickets just as the home side threatened to pile on the runs. Rory Burns and Davis joined forces to bring up their side's 100 in over number 18, and a big total from their 50 looked to be on the cards as Surrey went in search of their first win in what has been a poor tournament for the Londoners. Davis made a 50 off 48 balls, but the over after completing that, he was LBW on the reverse to Jack Leach with the score on 106 for 3 in the 19th over. That became 141 for 4 in the 27th as Somerset began to pull the game back, helped when Burns on 40 got a leading edge off Leach to offer Johan Myburg the simplest of catches. Gary Wilson then tried to lift the tempo again, hitting the first 6 of the match in the 35th over, before Anish Kapil added a second in the 38th, this one off Alfonso Thomas with a terrific hit over long off, as these two put on 74 runs in 13 overs. Surrey were well set for a strong finish, but just at the wrong time, they lost their captain for 45, as he was run out by Craig Overton, whose powerful throw from the deep was also accurate enough to produce a much-needed wicket for Somerset. Kapil has been offered a contract at the Kia Oval until the end of next season, and it's easy to see why. In just his 6th game for the county, he recorded a fine 50 off 52 balls. It was the former Worcestershire all-rounder's maiden List A half-century. He was out though for 59 before the visitors finished off the overs very well with the ball. Robin Peterson mishit a Gregory bumper back to the bowler after making 17. Zafar Ansari was out for 28 in the last over, Thomas having him caught at deep extra by Nick Compton. And to the last ball, Tim Linley fetched a slower delivery from Thomas to Gregory. Only 38 runs had come off the last 6 overs, as Surrey had to settle for a total of 284 for 9 from their 50. To qualify for the quarters, Somerset needed to win and hope that Nottinghamshire lost, or they needed to get to their target in 42.1 overs to knock Durham out, whatever the outcome at Trent Bridge. And Marcus Trescothick produced some incredible shots once he was in. All 3 of these sixes were huge shots as the Somerset skipper, who's not been at his best in the one-day formats this year, showed that he still has the ability to hit a ball a long way. Those 3 maximums came in the space of just 9 balls as Trescothick raced to a 50 off only 31, getting there with his 6th 4 just after 67 runs had been taken off the 10 overs of power play. He looked to be in a confident mood. His opening partnership with Compton had realised 84 runs in 13 overs, when the latter was LBW to Peterson for 22. Jay Dernbat then completely foxed Trigo with a superb slower ball that the batsman didn't pick to be on his way leg before for 5. Trescothick was having no problems picking his deliveries. Peterson was sent into the distance as the visitors brought up their 100 in the 18th over. Trescothick was already the key. His side weren't about to wait for Warwickshire to help them out at Trent Bridge. Somerset wanted to get these runs with enough time to spare to make that result irrelevant, and Durham would have been following the progress of Trescothick closely as he raced to 80 off only 54 balls. But then things began to go wrong for his team. Trescothick missed his shot and was legged before to Ansari, who struck again in his next over as Myburg went in the same way for 3. Then, with a total on 146 for 4 in the 25th over, the lights went out. Only 4 overs were lost, but now the visitors needed 275 off 46 overs, or another 129 off 22 to win. James Hildreth hit the first ball of the restart for 4, and then went after George Edwards, who he struck for 3 fours in the same over. Now though, Durham looked safe, and it was a win here and a Nottinghamshire defeat that Somerset needed. Hildreth made a 50 off 43 balls, but was out 3 runs later as he belted a flighty delivery from Ansari to Solanke. The short break had not helped Somerset one little bit, and they then lost their way. Alex Sparrow was stumped off Peterson for 12, and Overton holed out off Linley as the visitors slipped from 184 for 4 in the 29th over to 195 for 7 in the 31st. Their last hope lay with Tim Groenewald and Gregory, the latter slog-sweeping Peterson for a maximum in his 23. Groenewald then edged to Hoyk off a slow bumper from Linley behind, before Gregory was the 5th to fall LBW, this time to Linley, and with 9 men now out, Somerset looked out of it, still needing 42 more. The news from Trent Bridge was that the game there was too close to call, and so a win may just have done it for Somerset, and the last pair of Leach and Thomas batted really well to take their side close before, moments after Nottinghamshire had completed a dramatic last ball 1-wicket win, Leach was run out with his side just 8 runs shy of their target. It meant a 3rd successive defeat for Somerset in this competition, and it meant that one of the favourites were out, the county not making it to the knockout stages of either one-day competition, a rarity in the last few years. They were 267 all out, which left them in 6th place in the group, Surrey finishing at the bottom in spite of this success.